Hi, welcome to Tea with Jann. I am Jann, and today we are diving into an interview with Katie from Monarch Tea Co. So let's get going and meet her.
All right, Katie, can you tell us a little bit about you? Like, who is Katie?
Sure. Hey, I'm Katie. I'm a tea sommelier through the Tea and Herb Association of Canada, and I'm very passionate about spreading the art and love of tea. I started my business this March 1st will be 7 years ago. So I've been doing this for about 7 years, and I've been a tea sommelier for about 4 years now. I sell loose leaf tea in boutiques across Ontario, as well as in cafes, different spaces like that. But a huge passion of mine is the tea talks and workshops. So before COVID, I was doing everything in person. So it was really just in Ontario and mainly like the GTA region. But my best friend suggested last March when COVID hit, she's like, why don't you try taking this online? I was like, really? I don't know. Can this be done? Like, how do you think? And then I just started playing around with it, and just within 2 weeks, like put up a course, just like thinking like, we'll see if anyone signs up. I was excited when 2 people signed up. I thought that was that was all I needed to do to run the event. And it's just exploded. And I've realized, like, as you probably know, just how many tea lovers are out there worldwide and looking for connection. So that's something that really lights me up. I'm a passionate tea drinker, and I started drinking tea with my grandmother. So she was always into Tetley. So I grew up hardcore Tetley day in, day out. It wasn't until I was about 17 or 18 that I started getting into loose leaf tea and realizing there was more out there. My introduction was my first job. I was a barista at Starbucks for six
Oh,
years.
very
So I
good.
got really familiar with how to perfect a cappuccino and a latte and how to steam milk. And of course, they had the Tazo tea line. So that was kind of my first introduction into something outside of Tetley. Getting into like, the chai and the zen and all the passion tango, like all their original line. And then I left Starbucks to work at a vegan restaurant, which I was so excited to find in my town of Burlington at the time, that there was a vegan restaurant opening. It was like the first of the time back in the day. It was like 10 or 12 years ago. And they had a huge wall of loose leaf tea. So that was really my first opening into blending as well as herbs and tisanes. So I got super, super excited about that. So I would buy in bulk and then start kind of micro blending from there what I would like in my perfect cup of tea. So those kind of two jobs really explored and opened my mind and eyes to the possibility of like what else is out there, and it's not just the tea bag industry. So that's kind of my introduction into how I got into tea originally.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
So, how did Monarch Tea Co start? Like, when were you like, okay, I'm doing it?
So funny enough, after that restaurant, tea kept popping up in my life in different ways, different places I worked at. I ended up managing a boutique tea shop here in Hamilton on a small street, and they sold a lot of tea, but the owners were just looking to make money and they weren't passionate about tea service. And so I started thinking, okay, what could I do in my own business if I was to start this? How would I do this differently? Because I actually cared about how the tea was served and presented and just those little niches and touches. So I just kind of wrote a very small business plan and started one thing at a time. Like I chipped away, I got a graphic designer. Okay, I'm thinking of starting my business. I really love butterflies. Somehow the word monarch just kept coming into my mind. I didn't really necessarily have an affiliation with anything like related to that, although I do love butterflies, but I didn't know the why behind it. So I explained my vision and they created the logo, and then it kind of just was all from there. So just was small chipping away at how to start a business. At the time I was living at home with my dad, and he lent me money to get started. So it's still to this day I'm like, thank you, Dad. It was just these like small little steps that I needed to start forward. And I just I found a wholesaler and bought a small amount of tea and just kind of went from there and got labels designed and just launched it and kind of decided to see what would happen. So it was really just an eventual one thing leading to another, and thinking, I could try this. I could do this better than this person's doing this. If they don't even care about tea, I'm going to show people what it is to care and spread the love of tea. So that's kind of how I started.
That's amazing. So were you certified before you started your business?
So no, so I
Okay.
started the business, was just kind of doing my thing, and a coworker at the time had mentioned, "Did you know that there's a tea sommelier program that you can take at Mohawk College, which is a college here in Hamilton?" I was like, "What?" And I was actually at work, and I remember using the work computer, seeing the program, and immediately like, "Okay, cool!" Like I signed up, and I was just so excited to find that. So through the first couple years of my business, I was calling myself like an aspiring sommelier. So even I think my business card said that, because I would do talks, but I kind of gave the disclaimer of like, "Hey, I'm just still learning. I'm in school for this, not." But I did my own research and just kind of taught myself from there. And I don't think you need to necessarily like be a tea sommelier, of course, if you're passionate or love it, but it was just an extra level of education and um, learning that I found really helped in my business. So
Excellent. So
yeah.
your shop is like online only, right? We can't go to your store, right?
Yes, so I just sell online and then in other boutiques, but I don't have my own brick and mortar.
Okay. Could
Yeah.
we find out like where? Like if I'm like, oh, are you in Nova Scotia? Is there anywhere that I can find that out?
Yeah, absolutely. So on my website, monarchteaco.com, there's
Yeah.
the where to buy section. So it's like under all things tea, you can find a section that says retailers.
Okay.
Show that shows all the boutiques. I'm actually not anywhere in Nova Scotia yet, funny enough. So I a few years ago was working on a cafe in Inverness Beach, which is one of my favorite places in the entire world on the Cabot Trail, and I wasn't able to get in there yet. So that I'm kind of now I'll have to go back and see if I can, because I just would love to be in a place in Nova Scotia since it's so close to my heart.
Oh, that would be beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
And we have to ask, what tea are you drinking right now?
So actually, this is one I'm about to launch. So I haven't thought of a name for it yet, though.
Oh,
So Genmaicha is one of my all-time favorite teas. So I actually experimented by adding some spice to it. So I blended it with a little bit of cinnamon, ginger. So I used some traditional chai spice and blended it in with the Genmaicha, and I've created a Genmaicha chai infusion. And it's amazing. I can't believe it works. Like I was surprised. I just kind of played around with it. So I might even have to run a contest to think of a fun name, or if any of your listeners have a fun name,
that
or
is
if you have a fun
amazing.
name. That's the hardest part, is thinking of fun names for the teas. I'm sure many tea people will tell you that.
So, your online courses and stuff, that is what I find so fascinating as well. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Like I love the fact that you're sending out tea. So kind of like how far in advance do I have to, enter into saying yes?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So, what I love about the tea workshops, and I'm sure like yourself and many of your listeners, like I love receiving snail mail. And like when you get like getting your stickers, for example, was so exciting because it came in this beautiful card. I displayed it on my mantle, and snail mail is so fun. So, I love that I combine an actual workshop with the gifting aspect as well.
Yes.
So any of the workshops, so when you go to monarchteaco.com, the header says virtual classes, so you can click there. Any of them say the date you should register by. So I usually have that 3 weeks before the actual event, just to give lots of time for the package to mail. And so how it works, you'd sign up for the course you're interested in, and then you actually get a little gift set sent right to your home. So it's themed around depending on the workshop we're doing. So if we're in tea and chocolate, you'll get your set of chocolates, your set of teas that we're doing in the workshop, a tea tasting wheel, so actual hard copy, and the little biodegradable fill your own tea bags, just to make it easier for making multiple cups of tea at once. So that all comes in one package. So you'll also get a welcome email that talks you through, okay, once you receive your kit, this is how you're going to set up for the workshop. This is everything you need to know to set up in advance. Then you actually join on that workshop date. So you'll have all your tea set up, all your chocolate, for example, and then it will be a live interactive workshop where you're in the comfort of your own home, but you're able to learn and literally do a guided tea tasting. Everyone's using the same teas, the same chocolate. And we talk about tea, we talk about tasting notes, texture, terroir, And then it's really interactive. So if you choose to participate, you're welcome to share like, oh, I tried these two together and I really got notes of oak and hay. I didn't find this one personally too sweet. And then everyone else can kind of chime in with what they enjoyed or what they liked or disliked. So it's a fun interactive aspect of it.
So what if I was, a little bit camera shy and was like, I don't want anybody to see me.
Yeah.
Am I still able to join?
Absolutely. So a lot of the time, some people just have themselves off camera, 100% fine. I never say anything at the start. It's always just like who decides to be on camera, cool, who's off, no worries. I also always give people at the starting of the workshop, you can unmute to ask a question, but you can also type in chat at any time. So a lot of attendees just love to use the chat function and they'll ask their questions. So I'm like, okay, Jann, or if you want to even change your name on Zoom to Tea Lover, like Tea Lover asked, hey, would you pair this with a da da da? And then I just kind of read out the question and ask it to the group. So yeah, anyone can join no matter what your situation is. If you want it, if you're camera shy or anything like that, there's total flexibility there.
That's amazing. I love that aspect.
Thank you. Me too.
Is there a cap on how many people you'll let in a class?
So I try to keep it for personal ones, so non-corporate events. I usually try to keep about 15 people max.
Okay.
Just so that way it can be more of a discussion and doesn't get overwhelming. I've done corporate events where like there's 150 people on the call, so that's a different thing. And that's of course for like a big group that's like, yeah, team building. But for my regular classes, I like a more intimate group. On average, I'd say there's about 7 to 10 people per class.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I wanted to like throw like a birthday party for somebody virtually and I was like, I want it to be closed and just my friends? Is that something I could talk to you about?
Absolutely. So you'll find on the website as well under virtual classes, there's a private event button, so you can click that. So the pricing is about the same as my regular events, but we're able to actually custom book your own date. So it's minimum, I believe, 4 people. So let's say you and a few friends want to book something. Absolutely. We just work through, find a date that works for everyone. And I grab everyone's addresses and then mail the packages. So I absolutely do private events for like just friends, birthdays, things like that.
That's amazing. I really love that, especially like in the day that we are right now. And even when we come out the other side of this, I think that stuff like that is still going to be wonderful for people that, can't get out or don't want to get out. It's
Absolutely.
a nice option to still be able to, because not all of us can just jump into Ontario.
Well, exactly. Or even when we have loved ones that live all over, and even in normal times, you don't always get together. So I love that it creates a space where everyone can just have fun and meet each other and see each other, and experience the same thing no matter where we are.
Yeah, I love that. That is so beautiful.
Hey.
So wonderful. So is it worldwide? If I wanted to attend, I can attend in the UK or Australia or the US?
Yes, so I have a few options. So I do ship worldwide, and I've now done events almost literally worldwide. So I've done like Netherlands, all over Germany, the UK, even Russia. I had someone in St. Petersburg the other day, so that was really cool. Another aspect that I offer for people, let's say you want to do a tea talk tomorrow and obviously don't have time to get a package. So I also do these workshops through Airbnb. So what I love now is there's the Airbnb online experiences. And if you've seen them before, they're really cool. So you can book any type of experience you want. So I offer my workshops through there. So that's how I've been now finding a lot of clients. So that one, it's only $20 and it's a 45-minute guided tea tasting. So how it works, anyone can book no matter where they are in the world. One person can book, 10 people can book together, and all you have to do is come prepared with your favorite cup of tea. So we do a guided tasting together. We learn about tea, how it's grown, terroir, anatomy of the tea plant, a little bit of everything like that. And then we actually do a guided cupping together. So everyone's sipping, we're talking about what we're drinking, and then it's just kind of an open discussion if anyone wants to chime in. So someone in Germany might be drinking a certain herbal tisane that they got at their favorite tea shop, and someone in the UK is like, oh, I'm drinking my Bilda's tea, and I'm like, oh, cool, I'm drinking my Genmaicha chai, and it's just like a really chill, easy discussion. So that's been great for people that just want to book something nice and easy and come prepared with their own cup of tea. And you can find that when you go to Airbnb online experiences. I'm under the food and drink section. So they don't have a search icon yet, I think, because they want people to browse through whatever options they
Okay.
have. But you can just find it under, it's a guided tea tasting with a tea sommelier, and have a picture of me, and you'll be able to find that. There's a lot of good workshops on there.
That's amazing. I'm gonna definitely have to check that out.
There's so many
So,
ones. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
so if I could only go to one of your classes that you have right now, so I see you have like the tea 101 and the tea and chocolate, and I think there was another one, but it might have been,
There's tea blending.
yes, that was the
Yeah.
other one. What one would you suggest to, like, if somebody could only go to one, which one would you be like, oh, you should do this one?
Tea and chocolate's definitely the #1 bestseller.
Okay.
And even for the people that like don't like tea, they're like, oh, okay, tea and chocolate, like that's fun. I love chocolate. I'll sign up and just try the tea. So I would say that's definitely my #1 bestseller. I just launched the tea blending workshop. This is a new one I developed, and that one's been very, very popular. People are very excited about that too. So I would say this is fun if you've ever wanted to create your own tea but don't know where to start. So, but if you have to pick just one, tea and chocolate's a good one to start with.
Okay, excellent. And I know on your website it shows free shipping for Canada. Is the shipping too expensive for going into the States, is where a lot of viewers are, and the UK? Could you talk about that a bit?
Yeah. So I actually, the free shipping code does work for the US. So our US friends,
Excellent.
feel free to use the code free ship on orders over $50 to receive free shipping. It's funny, it says Canada. I just need to literally go in and change the banner to put US as well, because I actually at first, I think I thought somehow that shipping in the US would be more expensive. It's honestly sometimes even cheaper, which is crazy. So yeah, feel free, American friends, feel free to use that code. It will work. Um, for UK, that one it's a little bit more, so it just calculates the shipping cost upon when you put where your address is, and it will give you a general price. You can also always contact me directly if you're looking to customize a package or want to add a few things, and I can give you always like a custom shipping code as well, depending if you're outside of where I normally ship to. But I do ship worldwide. But yeah, the US and Canada, it's free shipping when you spend over 50. So people can take advantage of that. If not, it's a flat rate of $10 for Canada and $12 for the US. So it's still pretty reasonable if you only need a couple bags of tea.
Okay. And the free shipping is for the classes as well, right?
Absolutely. Yep. So you can use that on anything on the website. So the classes, the price includes the shipping. So you don't have to worry about that. It's just one fee, and you get everything all in.
And our American friends get such a deal because our dollar is not doing so well right now.
Yes. And I have a lot of American friends that always join. So it's awesome to meet them and see everyone, and find tea lovers all over the world, and new tea shops that I have to visit when we can travel again too. So
I know, it's exciting, exciting. All right, so on your website, I see that you do like wedding favors and corporate gifts and stuff. Can you tell me a little bit? Oh my gosh,
yeah,
that is
I
so
brought a little
adorable.
tea. So this is my mini tea favor size, and you'll notice each tea is hand sealed with wax to show the love and care that goes in to each blend. So this is really cool. So the final stage, once everything's packed, I literally hand drop wax and seal each one. So this is something I've had since the beginning, although it's evolved over time. When I first started my business, I had where it literally was like you kind of light the wax stick almost like a candle and hold it, literally like watching it.
Dripping.
So that was great if I got an order for 1 bag, which when you first start your business, like someone ordered 1 bag. But when you get an order for 1,000 bags, it's like, so over time, I now have like a little wax tub. So it'll heat the wax and you pour a little bit with a spoon and then seal. So, but it's still all done by hand.
Oh, wow.
So something like this is a wedding favor. So I actually had these at my own wedding, and I've done hundreds of weddings and baby showers and corporate events, things like that. So it's 25 grams of tea, and then on the back there's like a little label. So this is the garden party. So this is just an herbal tisane. It's Egyptian chamomile, peppermint, and rose petals. But I also do custom labels. So let's say you're having a birthday party and you want to send all your friends a special custom tea. We could be like Jann's blend, and I just design the labels and make it a fun little custom blend based on what you love, your favorite colors, things like that. So these wholesale for $4 a piece, and you can get 5, you can get 500. So it's a nice way to do a special little something. So these have been fun, especially for weddings, for example. I usually consult with the couple and we'll create a blend that really personifies them. So if one person drinks a lot of peppermint and the other person drinks a lot of black tea, I'm like, okay, thank you. Let me think on that. So maybe we'll create a minty black tea or a chocolate mint black tea, or some fun marriage of both teas together or their personalities. So we can create a blend that really encapsulates the couple.
I love that. That is amazing.
Thank
That is
you.
such, oh, I love it. And
It's
I love your
fun.
packaging and the little, oh, yeah, all of it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yay. Yeah, I really wanted
Wonderful.
something that was unique and still had like an artisan feel, but that was eye-catching, but also still like kind of organic and crafty. So yeah, it's a little bit of both. But thank you, Jan. That means a lot.
That's amazing. And when I was perusing your social media, I noticed that you've done some collaborations
Yeah.
and like with the liquor stores and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
So I've taught, well, first of all, so in here in Ontario, we have the LCBO. So it's kind of like the, what's the Nova Scotian one called? NCLS or NSLC.
Nova Scotia Liquor Corp. Yeah, and
Yeah.
NSLC.
My time going in there. So I've taught classes at certain LCBOs that have like little cooking studios. So that's been super fun. I also have worked with a lot of different breweries. So here in Ontario, we have Town Brewery. So they're in Hamilton, Ontario, and they've done a few tea infused beers. So they've done the Tomorrow's blend, where they've actually infused my cream Earl Grey into their blend. That's been super fun. Another blend here in Whitby, Ontario, called Town Brewery, made a blend called Greatest Riches, and it was a really light IPA infused with my Niagara peach pie. So it's essentia green tea with peach blossoms. So it was like a fruity, fun, peachy kind of thing going on. So that was really cool. I'm also looking, and I'm going to put this out there to the tea world because I love gin. So I'm looking to do a tea infused gin. I collect different tea gins, but I would love to have my tea infused in some gin down the road. So I'm going to put that out there to you first. But I love cocktail making as well. So I've worked with some different like local bars to do tea infused cocktails, some things like that. So yeah, that's always really fun. Anything that's like flavorful and tasty, and I'm all about. So
That is amazing.
thanks, Jan.
I love that so much.
Yay.
Yes, I wish that we could get that stuff here in Nova Scotia. There's so much that, I'm just like, oh, you see it online and you just want to be able to taste it. But
I know. Like,
mm,
I'm trying to think for my time in Truro because it's a smaller town, but do you find you have like a lot of unique small independent businesses there, or like kind of a foodie scene appearing?
yes, oh, completely. Yeah. So Truro's very unique in the fact that when you drive by the town, most people are like, ugh.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's not super appealing, but once you come into the town, we have a beautiful downtown, and we have this spectacular Victoria Park with like all these trails and stuff. It's a
Oh,
gorgeous little town, and yeah, if people just drive by it on the highway and don't give it a chance,
yeah,
yeah, they're definitely missing out.
they are.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh.
gorgeous here. So
I love that.
yeah, for sure. So
Can't wait to come.
so what is your favorite tea of all time that you've done?
Whew. Well, my number one bestseller is the Cream Earl Grey.
Yep.
And that one, just a side note on collaborations as well, you'll find on my website. Actually, I have it here in my little candle holder. I do even Cream Earl Grey infused candles, Cream Earl Grey lip balms. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I
Just
saw that and I was like, oh.
a local, what was I saying? Candles, lip balm. Oh, a local ice cream maker has done a Cream Earl Grey infused ice cream with my tea. So it's super fun. So that's one I drink almost every day. I really love the garden party. That was the herbal Tasson, but it's super simple. But the chamomile, peppermint, and rose petals I have like almost nightly, just as like an after dinner. It's great as a digestive. I also love any blends that I've created that are fun for like giving back. So I was going to mention every June. I just launched it this June, but I did like a Love is Love blend for Pride. So it's just something really fun, and all the proceeds go to like a local LGBTQ plus charity here in Hamilton. So I want to think this year to have it even larger, 'cause it just blew it out of the water. Something also really passionate and close to my heart is animal welfare. So I did a blend this year for Giving Tuesday to give back to a local animal shelter, but I'm now looking at something to help with a farm sanctuary. So anything that I've created that's able to like give back is something that's really near and dear to my heart as well.
I
So
love that so
yay.
much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I did see your I think it was like a post, and it was with the Piece by Chocolate, which is a Nova Scotia company. It was I think
Yes.
yeah,
The,
in a box or something together.
was it did they do a Pride chocolate?
Yes, they
Yes.
did. Yeah.
So the Mustard Seed, which is a cooperative grocery store here in Hamilton, did like a whole Pride display. So they had my tea, the Piece by Chocolate, and then Crown Point, the woman that makes the tea infused candles, she does Pride candles as well that were like layered with the rainbow, and each layer of the candles a different scent. So we had like
Oh,
this whole display, and it was all the way to be like, here, support like a cool Canadian business, and like each one was giving back to a certain Pride charity. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was
I
really
love
fun.
that.
So
So
yay.
amazing. So amazing. So with the like T101 or your online classes and stuff, if we were to sign up for that, do we know what tea we're getting, or is it a mystery?
So it's a mystery, but I can
Mm.
also tell you because it's not like under lock and key. So with T101, for example, because it's an introductory class, I want to give each attendee an experience of each type of tea. So you get a Paimutan white tea, you get usually a genmaicha or a gunpowder, so some form of green tea. You're getting a black tea, so I usually do like an English breakfast or a kimam or an Assam, white, green, black, a Taekwondoen oolong, a young pu'er, and then I end it with an herbal tisane. So I usually do my mango love. So you start with the 5 main classifications of tea and then an herbal. The only one I don't include is yellow tea. It's just it's like a little harder to source here in North America. I found a few wholesalers, but it's really expensive. So I love to just give people like the 5 main classifications of tea plus an herbal tisane to kind of cleanse the palate at the end of the workshop. So basically, you're being able to try white, green, black, oolong, pu'er, and then an herbal. With tea and chocolate, I try to keep it consistent. Sometimes I switch it up depending what chocolate we're serving, but I can give you an example. So the top 3 we start with in tea and chocolate. So I do my cream Earl Grey, and that one we've infused recently with a milk chocolate that's also infused with that same tea. So a local chocolatier here.
Oh,
Yes. Another female-owned business here in Hamilton. Her name's Tina, and she owns a business called Cacao Chocolate. So she literally grinds the cream Earl Grey with a mortar and pestle, infuses the tea into the cocoa butter, and then infuses the top with like little sprinkles of cream Earl Grey. So that's like I consider a like with like pairing. So we're literally trying cream Earl Grey tea with the cream Earl Grey infused chocolate. Or we'll do a contrasting pairing. One of my favorites is salted caramel milk chocolate with, again, matcha green tea. So right off the bat, you're like, okay, that's kind of random, but I find the saltiness and the umami flavor from the genmaicha tea, which has a bit of that toasty warm notes, really plays with a hint of the salt and the unexpected caramel taste infused in the chocolate. So it creates a really unique mouthfeel. So you're getting that savory sweet infusion. So that's my kind of all-time favorite tea and chocolate pairing. So that's usually included in the workshop as well. So that's kind of an example of what you would get. So in each kit, for example, like tea and chocolate, you'll get 6 of these of 6 different types of tea, and then like a little box with 6 chocolates.
so 6 different chocolates.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh.
6 chocolates, 6 teas, and then we do all 6. I always tell the guests, like, take a knife and cut the chocolate in half, because although you might want to eat all 6 chocolates at once, I love doing it almost with only half. And then later in your own time, feel free to experiment and try with other teas you have in your cupboard. And that way you're not like accidentally overdosing on chocolate.
Yeah.
Having 6 chocolates in 1 hour can be a little woo. So
So after the class, if I cut it in half, I not only have half of the 6 chocolates, but I still have more tea left, right?
That's exactly, yes. Since there's on average about 20 grams, you only need, as you know, like about a teaspoon or two to make a cup of tea. So there's lots. They're probably going to get at least another 10 cups of tea from this, so they can have lots to experiment and enjoy with at home.
So the tea and chocolate is $70, and that's free shipping, Canadian. So of
Yeah.
course our American friends are getting a
Little
deal of a
less.
deal.
Yeah, exactly. So,
What would the cutoff be for the next class that you have going for that tea and chocolate? Because
yes.
I'm like, is it full and how do I sign up?
So there's room, absolutely. The next one is on March 25th. So I would say as long as you register by I would register by like March 5th if you're interested.
Okay.
Just to give lots of time, especially just heading out east. So I think my cutoff date says there, probably says end of February, but feel free to register by March 5th. And then T101 is March 11th. And then tea blending is February 25th. So those for your listeners or your viewers as well can always find that on the website as well. But yeah, so there's still plenty of time to register for the next tea and chocolate one.
That's amazing. So after these ones are over, will you be adding more?
Yes, so I always update the website. So these happen all the time. So I'm going to always, let's see, March. So there'll be like ones for April, May, June, like they'll just continue. I did forget to mention as well. So let's say you and your wife want to join together. When you get in the kit, there's enough for 2 people to absolutely enjoy. So some people, if you want to take it with your partner, you don't have to buy 2 kits. I mean, you absolutely can if people want to hoard their own chocolate. But I have a lot of people that they're like, I'll just buy 1 kit and me and my partner, my loved one, or my friend will join with me. And there's enough for everyone can have lots of tea, especially when you cut the chocolate in half. You'll still be able to leave with an awesome taste and really experience it. So you don't have to buy 2 kits. You can, but it's not mandatory for sure.
That is amazing. Okay, don't tell her, but I'm gonna
do that. Maybe it's a special date night or something fun, but that's definitely an option. So yay!
I love that. Well, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. Is there anything that I've missed asking that you think everybody should know?
I don't think so. I think you covered it. I think you covered the workshops, which I really appreciate you taking the time to do, because I think that's what's unique. And I think the tea accessories, like letting people know they can find tea infused candles on my site, and the tea infused lip balms, and like the sweaters, like those are all a really fun part as well. And you don't find those everywhere, so those are kind of fun. But no, I think you really covered it. I appreciate it. You can just or for those listening and watching, you can find me at Monarch Tea Co on Instagram. monarchteaco.com is my website, and I'm Katie. And if any questions pop up, please feel free. This is more for the listeners, but feel free to message me, and I'm always happy to answer.
I love that. Thank you so much. I so appreciate this.
Thank you, Jann, so much. Thank you for taking the time, and I wish you a wonderful day, and go enjoy that cup of tea that's upstairs.
Yes, I'm seriously.
Wasn't that so fun? I am so thankful that we got to meet Katie from Monarch Tea Co. She is so adorable, and you know when you just find somebody and you're just like, yes, that person is just, I'm feeling their kindness. That's what I was feeling, just a genuinely wonderful person, and I'm so grateful to have met her. I hope you enjoyed that interview with her, and if you think I should be interviewing somebody, or if you want to be interviewed, send me an email and maybe we can make that happen. Otherwise, leave me a comment down below. I can't wait to chat with you guys about this interview and hear what you guys thought about Katie and her virtual classes. And spoiler alert, I've already signed up for the tea and chocolate one, the one in March. Yep, I'm doing it. Can't wait. I'm so excited. I finished the interview and I'm like, ding, 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 ding. So much fun. So yes, I can't wait. If you're not already, please subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I post new videos. I hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up, and of course, sharing it with your friends really helps out the channel a lot. I will chat with you guys down in the comments. Until next time, take care. Bye. Woo!
I'm so glad we got to meet online. So
thank you. I so appreciate this. And yes, I remember when it was like Monarch Tea, and I was like, oh, that was it was my elementary school.
Yeah, which was so funny. And I love Nova Scotia. Like all my fam jam is in Pictou, so not far from Halifax at all. And yeah, I can't wait. I normally go every summer, so as I was mentioning, like hopefully one time we can actually meet up in person, but